And welcome to the 2022 AVP Pro Series, the Central Florida Open. Final event of the calendar year here for the AVP Tour. Next up, men's action. A very exciting matchup coming, and our throw it down to Mark Sherman for the introduction of our teams.
A matchup I was hoping for, I was waiting for, and we get it for the first time, maybe of two this week, and let's see what happens. But this is going to be so good. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet these teams. And this first team, so awesome that they are back together. We were like, they need to play one more time. It has been over 6 years since they've been on the court together, but the old guy helped the young guy get his career started on the AVP. Let's talk about that young guy. You know him, you love him. He is an absolute stud and a star here in the USA and around the world. A three-time winner here in 2022 on the AVP. He is Bourne. And his partner out of San Diego, California. Ladies and gentlemen, he is Iron Man, a 13-time winner on the AVP Tour, and now playing his first of hopefully many tournaments as a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50-year-old. Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear it for Johnny, the H-Bomb, Hyden. And their opponents. First, let's say hello to the defender, shall we? Talk about a favorite around the world. Man, from the time he was playing indoor volleyball at Long Beach State University, we're like, I really hope he fully commits to the beach, because he is so much fun to watch and so good. Out of Honolulu, Hawaii, let me hear it for Taylor Crabb. And his partner, a 60, 10, 20, 30, I think 60 is down to 60-time winner on the AVP Tour, an absolute legend. He is the thin beast. He is the gold medalist coming here to Tavares all the way from... He is Phil Dalhausser.
Matt Prosser alongside Dane Blandy here at Stadium Court in what should be the most exciting matchup of the tournament so far on the men's side. Dane, these two teams, these four players, they know each other so well. So much volleyball played between these four athletes. A bit of a renaissance for Bourne and John Hyden. And then the team that everyone has always wanted to see play together in their first opportunity, Taylor Crabb and Phil Dalhausser.
Here we go. Johnny Try, Phil and
yeah, this is, so much fun to see this. I think every volleyball fan wants to see Phil and Taylor play together, see how that works out. And then they wanted to see the reunited team of Hyden and Bourne. Remember, they separated because not really on their terms. Bourne was dealing with that autoimmune issue, but remember, this team won an FIVB event back in 2014. They were a team to be reckoned with, so it's nice to see them back out on the sand together.
Yeah, it certainly is. There's so many underlying stories here between these four players. Hyden and Bourne, they had nearly qualified for the 2016 Rio Olympics, but lost out due to the country quota situation. Meanwhile, Johnny Hyden's 50 years old, still looking to become, he is the oldest winner on the AVP Tour, but looking to add to that, going up against this man, 61 wins on the AVP Tour, Phil Dalhausser. And that's one of the reasons why it's been so good, just doing what Phil does best, getting his hands over and scoring the block point.
Well, yeah, there's nothing worse for the opposition than a motivated Phil Dalhausser, and that's exactly what he has been all year. He played with Andy Benish in the first event of the year, won that. Then he played with Casey Patterson, was excited for that partnership, won that tournament. And now he's playing with Taylor Crabb. So the motivation is high, and that's when Phil, I believe, plays his best.
Well, Johnny Hyden getting called for the double contact on that handset. Pretty easy call for our first official. You know, and then between Taylor Crabb and Tri Bourne, it's been well documented that they've been friends since, you know, their childhood growing up in Hawaii, the Outrigger Canoe Club. Obviously, Tri Bourne stepping in for Taylor Crabb. Everybody knows that story from the Tokyo Olympic Games. But also throughout this season in Fort Lauderdale, there was a little extra communication going on between Taylor Crabb and John Hyden that resulted in, let's just say, some up close and personal moments after that match was over. Had to be held back by some AVP staffers. Fort Lauderdale, in this same state of Florida. So we'll see if any chipping goes on between those two throughout this match again as well. But a pretty routine start here, 2-point advantage for Crabb and Dalhausser. Nice save there by Taylor, gets it over on one. Tri Bourne with the counter attack, slaps it down the line nicely.
Yeah, we always think of all these different types of combinations and whatnot, Matt. But how about Phil Dalhausser with Tri Bourne playing in the backcourt? That could be interesting.
You never know. Phil might need a partner, and he gets his pick of the litter. He can call whoever he wants, and pretty much anyone will drop their partner to play with Phil Dalhausser. Even you had some massive battles against Phil, as did I, on the AVP tour, so it's fun to watch these guys compete against each other in December in Florida for this event.
Yeah, it's just Phil is a special player and had such an impact on the sport, and winning that gold in 2008 and winning over 100 tournaments. It's anytime you mention the greatest of all time, his name is mentioned, and there's definite argument. I mean, he's won just about everything the sport has thrown at him.
And Hyden continuing to do what he has always done so well, is side out from the right side. Just sneaky, places the ball so well, doesn't always have to go with the hard heat or the power. Well, it's something that John Hyden has always had, is quality court vision. Tri Bourne with the strong jump serve over to Taylor Crabb. Jousted the net, but we've got a net violation against Tri Bourne that time.
Yeah, when you try to joust and you hold that ball too long, you end up pushing into the net. Let's take a look here. Tri Bourne goes up, really grabs the whole ball, and then kind of follows through. I don't know if his right hand hit or his left leg, but definitely a net.
Yeah, looked like it was his leg on that quality camera work there. But he comes right back with the option play, something that Hyden and Bourne have been utilizing throughout this event so far. We're seeing Tri Bourne utilize the jump set, a little faster offense options to his partner, and then obviously with Hyden getting the majority of the serves, Tri Bourne utilizing the on-2 play. And the 50-year-old misses that jump serve through the inline. Played his college volleyball at San Diego State back in the day. Off the tape, passed well by Bourne. Side attack though, and Tri Bourne crushes that one. Hard angle for the winner.
Yeah, really nice footwork to get outside right there, and John Hyden putting up the set exactly what Tri Bourne needs. But John Hyden is just a specimen. 50 years of age. I remember training with him. Always took care of himself. The right nutrition, the right stretching, and that's really created this longevity for him. I mean, we've never seen a player playing at this level at 50 years of age and always in the hunt of every tournament that he's in pretty much.
John Hyden, there's a good look at him. An indoor Olympian for the United States after his college days at San Diego State. Outside hitter for that national team. Obviously had a great run with Sean Scott back in the day. His first win came as, I believe, partner to Mike Lambert, King of the Beach. But a nice side out there as Hyden goes back to serve, down by 1 here, 7 serving 8. Short serve over to Crabb from the right. And he goes down the line for the winner.
Yeah, Crabb just has this just uncanny ability to see where the block is. He just kind of downshifts and rolls that ball by Phil Dalhausser as he's on his way down, and that's why he's been so effective. Just 6 feet tall, but just a huge vertical and a lightning quick arm.
Phil goes to the jump serve down the middle and gets the ace.
That's one of his favorite moves, going right down the middle, starting in the middle, finishing in the middle. And then his other 2 favorite spots are going to those sidelines. So 3 spots you really got to protect when you're defending against Phil's serve.
See what he follows it up with. This time trying to go to the corner against Bourne, but missing. So now a 2-point deficit as Bourne will go to the jump serve. They get a 3-point deficit with that service error. Not a lot of wind here on Stadium Court, Dane, so these players not able to curl that ball against the wind, or no real good side, bad side, as Taylor Crabb steps back for that deep jump float serve. And Bourne continuing to be aggressive and swings freely past Phil's block and down.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Matt. The conditions couldn't be better. It's just dead still out here, and sometimes that bodes well for some players, but other players that have a jump serve that they like to rip in the wind, that can sometimes cause a little bit of a problem. John Hyden trying to figure out if there is any breeze here before he puts this serve up.
Jump float serve over to Taylor. Goes through the middle. There's a nice dig by Johnny Hyden. High set. And he goes over the block off of Phil's hands for the point. That brings us to the 21-point technical timeout.
Here comes Taylor Crabb on the right side. Really hits this ball well, but it's controlled perfectly by Hyden. The set's nice, and then the high off the block shot by Hyden. He's been doing it for years.
2 seasons on the AVP Tour is John Hyden, as we see a review of the 2022 champions.
Yeah, look
Both
at Andy
players here
Benish
getting some victories.
You know what? Yeah, you're
at the top there, you know, winning his first time. But this is like what I said, Matt. This is the motivation for Phil. Getting Andy his first win, then playing with Casey Patterson, and then you know, now playing with Taylor Crabb. And then Taylor Crabb and Taylor Sander, a team this year that made a lot of noise, finally got their victory, and they got it in the big one, the AVP Championships in Phoenix. And so that's a team to be reckoned with. And it's interesting how these things come around. Tri and Trevor, of course, a solid team, winning and predicting the win in Fort Lauderdale, winning also in Manhattan Beach. That's 3 in a row for Trevor Crabb, 2 in a row for Bourne in Manhattan Beach, and they also won the big one, the Gold Series in Chicago. So it's been quite the season. 15 tournaments in all on the AVP Tour, the most since, I believe, 2009. And a lot of fun, a lot of different storylines to follow, but next up is going to be the run for Paris.
Well, 3 players on the court getting victories this year on the AVP Tour, and you know Bourne would love to get the win for his partner, Johnny Hyden, and that play will help the cause as Bourne places that one deep into the corner for the point. Hyden with that jump float serve over to Taylor. Phil on 2, but Bourne gets a good read on it. But Bourne misses on that attack. Looking for hands, but hits it out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a huge opportunity right there. It was a tough pass by Taylor Crabb, and Phil had to go over on 2, and Try was there. He just couldn't gather his feet in time to get a good hit into the deep corner.
So Phil goes back to that jump float serve. Goes over to Bourne. Through the middle, off the tape and down.
Take it any way you can get it there with a little trickler. Not pretty, but still the same. It's worth a point.
So 12-12 here in set number 1. Bourne jump serving out of the shadows there on the right side of your screen. And Phil with a heavy hit on the option. Clips the sideline for the point.
Yeah, that option is just deadly and lethal from Phil Dalhausser. Doesn't go to it all that often, but sometimes he's forced into it. He gathers himself and crushes that one.
Nice one-handed dig by Taylor Crabb, but the ball's going to sail out of bounds. Johnny Hyden showing that he's got some power left in that shoulder still.
Yeah, he's really taking care of himself, and his endurance is always on point. He seems to stay injury-free, and that's half the battle.
Now resides in Franklin, Tennessee, where he has his sand volleyball club. As Taylor Crabb responds right back down the line for the point. Phil getting ready to serve, looking for a bit of a run here from the inline. He's going to go to the jump serve.
I'm with you. With you.
Hyden on 2. Taylor, though, with the save. Phil's got to run it down. Good set. And Taylor Crabb goes over the block for the point, but that's all because of the effort from Phil Dalhausser.
Yeah, Phil showing that he has wheels and can get there not only, and then he puts up a nice spinning back set. Look at the wheels here. Spins it up nice and perfect. Just enough for Taylor Crabb right there to take a look and put it where they're not. Great volleyball play right there.
So a 2-point advantage now for Crabb and Dalhausser. After the side switch, Phil goes to the jump serve again. Over to Bourne from the left. Off the net that time. Crabb broke to the line and Bourne scores.
You haven't had a lot of noise up at the net, Prosser, in terms of stuff blocks, even though we have some spectacular blockers out there. So I think who can get a couple of those might make a difference.
Yeah, Phil getting in on the blocking early on in this set, but only has the one so far. There's a nice dig by Bourne, but Crabb is there for the scoop. And he delivers down the line for the point.
16-14.
So 2-point advantage on the side out for Taylor Crabb, and Phil looking to add to it now. Float serve over to Johnny Hyden from the right side. Crabb's there for the dig. Phil on 2 blocks. Self-covered, though, kept alive. And a free ball over to Try. He's got to play it. And Try down the line for the side out.
Yeah, that's a huge save right there. Look at that. Self-cover, keep the ball in, and Bourne plays the close one. Doesn't want to risk that ball being in and letting it fall, so takes it into his own hands and tools it off the top of Phil.
Phil taking his time, getting a little wipe on the sunglasses there as he prepares to probably not receive serve, but set his partner. Not too many people opting to serve Phil, as Hyden hits that one out of bounds. So back to the 2-point advantage as Phil prepares now. Steps up for that jump float serve that he's been using. Down the line to try Bourne. Challenging Phil. Crabb is there. Phil keeps it alive, and now a second chance for try. And he misses it wide that time.
Look at this dig right here. Scoops it. That ball looked like it was fully legal, but Hyden and Bourne were not happy about it. And then that ball out of bounds.
Completely
Good.
in the air. I think that was a good quality dig from Taylor Crabb.
Ooh, and the point will go to John and Crabb. Keith is ruling that it hit the ground.
Oh, they're going to reverse it. Not a big argument from Taylor Crabb. So perhaps that ball did make contact. Taylor Crabb, not one to get very emotional with the referees or argue, but maybe he knows something that we don't, and no challenges to be used here or replays for the referees to see. So the point will go over to Bourne and John Hyden after that one.
Yeah, I'd love to get another look at that because it looked like it was completely legal, man. It looked like it was up in the air and interesting.
From our angle, it definitely looked like it was clean, and the crowd responds with the always popular cliche that the ball never lies. So 18-16 here in set number 1. Phil up at the net as Taylor Crabb serves over to Hyden. Hyden hammers cross court. Phil gets called on the net violation.
Who out there is rooting for Taylor Crabb and Phil Dalhausser?
It's interesting that, Matt, that's going to be a very crucial point, that one that was taken away from Phil and Crabb. They do have a 1-point lead, but this could very easily be 19-16 on this switch rather than 18-17. Let's see how they respond.
Hyden with the serve over to Taylor from the right. Set drifting tight, but Taylor Crabb slicing it cross court for the winner.
Yeah, he is just incredible. Had an incredible year or career at Long Beach State and winning National Player of the Year at 6 feet. Just an incredible outside hitter with a lightning quick arm swing.
Took his talents overseas for a few seasons, played professionally indoors in Europe, but knew that he would always be eventually on the beach as a professional. And Phil misses the corner barely long that time.
Yeah, those are those tough serves where as a defender, you don't know if you should pass him or not because that ball just missed by a few inches.
Bourne goes strong over to Taylor Crabb. And Taylor went hard cross court, but he misses wide, and we're tied at 19s now.
Yeah, when you're hitting from the middle of the court, you're not able to have the typical court that you would have if you were outside to that right antenna, and Crabb just challenging.
Well, service pressure from Bourne paying off that time. As you said, Dane, Taylor had to come through the middle of the court, couldn't turn it back down the line, so he went hard angle, but missed widely. So 19 apiece now. The jump serve from once again over to Taylor. Good set. Hyden's there with the dig. Chance to take the lead. Not yet as Crabb gets the dig. Back and forth action now. Hyden with a chance. High up the hands. Phil covers. Taylor Crabb with nobody up. What a set again from Phil. Taylor puts it down for the point.
Yeah, that's why you always have to recover as a blocker at the net. You see John Hyden take a few backpedal steps because typically he's going to be playing in the backcourt. That results in nobody at the net, and Taylor Crabb is going to make you pay dearly if you ever do that.
And with maybe that's a situation where Trevor Crabb would be blocking with try, but we'll see now as it's set point for Taylor Crabb and Phil Dalhausser. Set comes off the net. Phil saves it. Chance over to Hyden, but try on two gets it through the block and down.
Crucial play right there by Bourne. Keeping that in play, going on that second contact.
So tied at 20s now. Going into overtime volleyball here on Stadium Court, but first we're going to have a timeout.
Perfect time to throw out some more mini balls.
Come on, Jake.
Take a glance over to court number one, and it should be a very entertaining matchup. Hagen Smith, Jake Dietrich taking on Travis Mewerder, Jean-Michael Plummer here in a Contenders matchup. Obviously, anyone that pays attention to the volleyball podcasting world, Mewerder and Bourne partners on the Sandcast. Meanwhile, Hagen Smith, the son of legendary player St. John Smith. Contenders matchup here. Loser will be done and can go into hibernation for the remainder of 2022, and the winners will continue to participate. This is the third match of the day for Hagen Smith and Jake Dietrich. But back over to Stadium Court now after that timeout.
Well, I guess you're not getting one tomorrow then. Everybody get the food.
Go get him, boys.
Yeah, Hagen and Dietrich were the first match of the day, I believe, at about 8 o'clock this morning. So it has been a long day for them. I think you said 3 they've played so far, and they're definitely being tested.
So after the timeout, Johnny Hyden will get us back to action. Tied up at 20s here in set number 1. 50-year-old serves over to Phil. Through the middle here. He hammers that ball cross court for the winner.
Yeah, a little bit of extra put on that one by Big Phil coming out of the timeout, and he'd like to seal the deal on this. Looked like they were in control, but Hyden and Bourne have really stepped up here at the end of this set.
You can never count out Johnny Hyden, no matter who his partner is. He will fight and compete all the way to the final point. As that serve goes over to Bourne on the left side now. And Bourne hammers the ball through the block once again.
A risky play right there, right? He kind of tried to overpower Phil, and that ball could easily get stuffed down, but he takes a pretty severe angle.
Yeah, that does not happen very often. You challenge Phil's angle. He's pretty good at closing that off, but that time somehow gets it by. 21 all now as Bourne serves. Strong serve over to Taylor Crabb from the right. Blocked but covered from his knees. What a set. Bourne saves it. And Phil gets a dig. Oh, that's set way off the net. Down the middle, but he somehow scores. Hyden was there. Bourne tried to play it. The point will go to Crabb Dalhausser.
Yeah, if you're wondering why people think that Phil is the greatest of all time, this is why. A rally like this, look at the defense. If you ask him to play defense, he's on it, and then I don't know how he gets a kill from 20 feet off. And then let's not forget the set from his knees that came out absolutely perfect.
So set point again for Crabb and Dalhausser. Serve goes over to Hyden. Oh, Crabb with the dig. It goes over on one. Another wide set. Phil chases. Crabb is there but can't get the ball up.
Yeah, you're getting to see how quick Crabb is in the backcourt, just getting his hand on just about every one of the shots that he sees.
Serve goes over to Crabb from the right side. Hyden with the easy dig, though, and Bourne on 2 to score their 23rd point.
Wow, just like that, they score a point while serving and they take the lead. So that's a huge switch in terms of Dalhausser and Crabb being in charge, as we'll go out to court number 1.
Yeah, another timeout on stadium court, so we'll check in on the Contenders bracket matchup. Early stages of what should be a very competitive Contenders bracket match here. Dietrich utilizing that hybrid serve to run up and block. Ball finds the sideline for a good side out. Travis Maurer going with that trademark Maryland tank top.
Do you have one of those tank tops, Matt?
I wasn't born in Maryland, so I don't. Travis, the lefty, goes with the serve, but a nice side out by Hagen Smith. So back over to stadium court. Full capacity for this Saturday afternoon action from Central Florida. Just a perfect day for beach volleyball. And an entertaining opening set here between the 2 and 3 seeds on the men's side, as Hyden will get us back to action.
Oh,
Crabb goes hard down the line.
Risky play, but he goes for it right there and ties it up at 23. Right now, Hyden and Bourne in control with the slight advantage receiving serve.
23 all. Dane, this has the makings of going deep into overtime right now.
Yeah, both these teams playing at such a high level. It's a lot of fun. It's what we expected.
Oh, nice dig into the net. Played well by Phil. Crabb gets it over. There's the jump set, but it's a double contact called against Bourne.
Bourne maybe thinking a little bit too much. Phil was not biting on that fake, so Phil took off before the set even happened, and I think that might have messed with the focus of Bourne. He ended up chucking that one.
So the advantage and the lead go back over to Crabb and Dalhausser, serving at set point once again. Let's see if Phil steps up. Looks like he's going to jump float serve. Interesting choice as he goes over to Bourne. Inside set, and Bourne turns it back to the line for the point.
Yeah, not sure how Bourne got that ball past Phil, jumping to his right and hitting it back to his left, but he pulled it off.
I mean, the physicality of Bourne, just such a hard worker in the gym with his trainer, pays off. You've seen him rebound so well from that autoimmune issue that he had a few years back. Just a very inspirational story by the Hawaiian as his jump serve goes over to Phil on the left now, and he crushes that ball like he's done so many times before for the point.
That ball was just clearly over the top of the block right there by Phil. And, you know, when he shifts into that extra gear, you better look out. Look at the elevation here by Phil.
No surprise here, Dane. Phil's attack there earns him the label of the White Claw pure spike of the day on that one. Great camera work here. Up and over try Bourne for the White Claw. Pure spike of the day. And Hyden showing that doesn't have to go hard at that, and he'll roll shot it to the corner from the right side, tying us up at 25 points apiece now.
Yeah, Hyden just so smooth, always just very composed, comes back, puts a nice finesse shot down the line.
Goes with a short serve to Crabb. Phil with the option, though, turns it crossbody for the winner.
Wow, did he make that one look easy. He just got up about 4 or 5 feet off the net and just crushed it crossbody.
Let's be honest, Dane. Phil has made a lot of things look very easy on the volleyball court his entire career as the 6'9" blocker. Goes back to the jump float serve. Hyden from the right side now. Crabb with the dig. It goes over. Run down, but Philly's there for the overpass, and that'll do it. Set number 1 in overtime, 27-25 in favor of Taylor Crabb and Phil Dalhausser.
That was pretty incredible, and it all started with the dig by Crabb. Got it over the net, and then try, and Hyden just could never recover. That ball ends up on top of the net with Phil waiting for it, and he hits it right deep in the court for the winner.
Yeah, easily going over Gun Hyden's block right there. As we'll take a quick break. Come right back for set number 2 in Central Florida.
At Corner Bakery, we're making your choice simple with Choose 2 options every day. Choose 2 of your favorites and turn a simple lunch into a perfectly paired meal. And we're not talking about a few Choose 2 options. Pair up any sandwich or panini, any cafe fresh salad or warm simmering soup, or any pan sauteed pasta. So many kitchen crafted options, so little time. Your perfect Choose 2 combination is waiting at the Corner Bakery.
Dear mainland, aloha. My brother and I hear that most of you only disable your phones when you fly. You call it airplane mode. But maybe you don't have to get on a plane to get away, yeah? Allow my brother to demonstrate. You know what we call this? Kona mode. One life, right? Mahalo.
Longboard Island Lager and Big Wave Golden Ale from Kona Brewing.
It's the choices we make that define us.
Tryon Trevor's coming off a tough, heartbreaking loss.
And ultimately, the enemy is within. Some people want it, some wish for it, but others make it happen.
Tryon Trevor's super lethal, bringing fire and passion to the court.
How will you take charge?
And welcome back to Stadium Court here for the AVP Pro Series Central Florida Open. Matt Prosser alongside Dane Blanton for a very entertaining set number 1. Let's review the stats. Dane, pretty even on the hitting percentage. What else here stands out to you?
Yeah, you know, nothing huge stands out right now. Bourne and Hyden with 3 control blocks, but, you know, Phil was a presence up at the net, and I think that was the difference on that last over set. He made Bourne and Hyden pay for it. But all in all, the stats pretty even, and that's why we were into overtime and had a 2-point win by Taylor Crabb and Dalhausser. You know, they've just been playing well. We talked about the perfect conditions that we had out here. Not a lot of wind. It's just a slight little breeze, I guess you'd call it, but really high-level volleyball with two teams that a lot of the fans here who have really come out to support have been waiting to see these two teams battle it out.
Well, great crowd on hand to witness that overtime win, that 2-point win for Crabb and Dalhausser as we get ready to start set number 2 now. Bourne will get us underway. This first serve goes into the net. One thing I kind of take away from set number 1, Dane, is the fact that Bourne had 0 blocks for points. And that is something that he does really, really well. However, Phil and Taylor sort of took him out of that opening set with his blocking at the net.
No, I agree with that 100%. You know, you're used to Bourne making a difference at the net, and I think if he's not getting a couple blocks, then he's got to figure out some other way to score some points.
Now Crabb playing some great defense, and now the overset from Phil right into Bourne's hands as he redirects it nicely for the point.
It's so interesting. This play used to be completely illegal, going up, grabbing the ball and throwing it in another direction. You used to have to play it cleanly, either hit it or poke it. Now you can completely redirect the ball, and Bourne does a fantastic job right there.
Hyden going to the jump serve now. Over to Taylor Crabb. Good set through the right side, and he hits that ball. Looked like it went through the wickets, through the arms of Bourne's block.
I think that's been the case. You know, you mentioned him not getting a block for points is because not only is Phil hitting at such a high level, but Taylor Crabb, he's so crafty. He hits the ball when you're either coming down or he kind of changes his tempo, and that's what makes it so frustrating as a blocker.
Good serve over to Hyden. Crabb made a break but pulls up on that one, so the side out and the point will go over to Hyden and Bourne. Dane, you get the feeling that set number 2 is going to be a mirror image of set number 1, perhaps. No real clear leader, just back and forth siding out, a few long points by each side, and we might get another overtime set here. As Taylor Crabb responds right back. Go ahead.
Yeah, one thing that usually happens with Phil Dalhausser is he starts to get a better read on the hitters, and he starts to get his block a little more effective. And the fact that Taylor Crabb is in the backcourt just touching everything, I think that Phil is due to get 2 or 3 blocks in this one.
Crabb with another dig here. Turns it back, but Hyden responds with a dig. Nice set and another dig. It goes over, taken by Hyden. Try on 2. It catches the net and Phil's hands for the point. So Hyden to jump serve now. Strong over to Taylor Crabb on the right. Goes with the line shot. Hyden tracks it down and they get it over. Now Phil with the opportunity. And he reaches high off of the block for the point. What a dig there by Johnny Hyden.
What a great hustle right there. Hyden just everywhere. Little back flipper. We don't see that play very often. Then a left hand controls it back into the court. But a lot of juice taken out of the side of and Hyden right there, who just can't believe they didn't win that rally with all that effort.
And we're going to get a medical timeout now being taken by the 50-year-old Johnny Hyden. Didn't get up very quickly after that rally. So a medical timeout being called in. looking a little closer at that left shoulder of John Hyden on that second contact he made. The ball that went over, he had to extend as he fell to his left side. Let's take a replay look at it. There's the first backhand flipper, Dane, that you caught, but it looks like this might be it, where he scrambles on his knees, lays out, full extension, and perhaps just kind of jarred that shoulder joint a little bit mid-rally.
Yeah, it was an interesting play. It was a huge all-out effort in multiple directions for John Hyden, and that left extension maybe looks like he's putting some ice kind of on that upper kind of back region, where he maybe just stressed a muscle, stretched it and maybe strained it, and it maybe spasmed because he felt it right away.
Set number 1, 21-17 over Hyden Smith, who takes Dietrich, winner of that match, gets into the final round of the Contenders bracket.
Now these medical timeouts will take a few minutes, an extended break for Taylor Crabb and Phil Dalhausser, and Hyden will continue to get evaluated, and we'll go out to court number 1 for an update as Mawarder and Plummer winning set number 1, 21-17. This early stages of set 2 now. Good side out there by Plummer, Mawarder. John Michael Plummer and Travis Mawarder, the 14th seeded team in this event.
Nice job, Dave.
And Dietrich comes right back with his own high line shot. Jake Dietrich has played a few seasons on the AVP Tour, really having a breakout year this year. The 34-year-old playing a little defense as well now.
Yes!
It's the dig and the transition point. So showing his prowess in the back half of the court, Dane.
Yeah, you know, his game has improved tremendously, and like you said, I agree 100%. A huge breakout year 2022 for Dietrich, and I love that partnership with him and Hyden Smith. Efforts there, the focus, and they're a lot of fun to watch.
Well, Hyden and Bourne have come back out onto the court, kind of getting a little peppered, testing out that left shoulder injury that John had to call the medical timeout staff to get evaluated. But the Iron Man that he is, even at 50 years old, is going to stay in and keep fighting like he always has over his 22-year career on the AVP Tour.
It'll be interesting if they go right back to him and test him. He was kind of adjusting his neck, it seemed like, and that can really bother you when you're hitting offensively.
Yeah, right on cue, they do serve John Hyden. Now he'll tap from the right down the line, and he gets the side out. So whatever injury it is that Hyden is fighting through, it's his non-hitting arm. So that'll be helpful for him as he fights through it. And Bourne now with his serve is too strong. So tricky situation for Bourne and Hyden, Dane. You know, for does he try to pick up some of the slack a little bit and help his partner out? It'll be interesting to see as it develops here. Going with the option play. He gets it down for the point.
You know, I think the answer is yes. Take as much court as you can. Try to control the match and get more involved and maybe take a little bit of the pressure off of Hyden. You don't want to change your whole game, but you definitely want to help him out if he is hurting.
Crabb through the middle, and there's a hanging swat by Bourne, getting his first block point of the match.
Wow, this is absolutely beautiful. The timing, he waits, he knows Taylor Crabb well, and Taylor rolls it up right in the sweet spot and just throws it back.
Another jump serve over to Taylor Crabb. And Taylor gets the cut shot to fall in front of John Hyden that time.
Yeah, I think if you're Phil and Taylor, you continue to test John Hyden and try to test the endurance. He's playing solid, but conditioning could be in effect, and who knows how much that injury is affecting him.
Serve over to Crabb Bourne from the left, and he swings cross court for the winner. So we'll see what Tri can do from the end line now. He goes to the jump float, takes a little bit off, kind of a hybrid. Nearly gets the corner, but misses long. Good graphic here for Olympic gold medalists since the Atlanta Olympics in 1996. Look at that, 2000. My broadcast partner, former playing partner, the one and only Dane Blanton. Quite an illustrious crew you're part of there, Dane.
Yeah, good times. It seems like, it's funny, you look at that list and you see it seems like so long ago, but it kind of feels like not quite as long as that. But that list of some awesome players to be a part of right there.
I remember the day you won that gold medal. I was watching from home, and your playing partner, Eric Fenoy Moana, I get a chance to talk with him every once in a while here in the South Bay of California, and rewind back to the Manhattan Beach Open. The three of us had a chance to catch up, and it's just great to see the two of you continuing to be involved in this sport, and now evolving into the coaching aspects. You at USC, him at Miracosta High School in Manhattan Beach, kind of giving back to the sport that you guys have been able to get so much from.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun transitioning to coaching, and it's fun to be a part of the sport that's given us so much. And it's a blast to see this kind of next generation come along as well. And it'll be interesting to see on the men's side, especially, who's representing the United States come Paris in 24. What the partnerships will be. Will there be any shifting in the partnerships? I think the women are kind of a little more set than the men, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's certainly a bit of a question mark on which American men's teams will be in the mix, competing for one of two potential slots in those Paris Olympics. An Olympic window and cycle for qualification opening up in January. So a 2-point advantage here on Stadium Court coming up on 4 o'clock local time. Shadows coming across the court. Nice running set there from Crabb Bourne, and Johnny Hyden placing that knuckle shot into the open court.
Yeah, I'm impressed at the way John Hyden has rebounded here. It looks to be his regular old self right there. A nice little poke shot cross court.
Crabb Bourne going with that strong jump serve at Taylor. And Taylor responds nicely with a cross-court winner. And just to go back to the coaching side, Dane, John Hyden and Phil Dalhausser both kind of starting up their own beach volleyball academies now. With you at USC, any chances you might be recruiting some of his players in the future?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because we talked to club owners and I've talked to some of the players that John has dealt with, as well as, you know, Jake Gibb has his own club, Spiker Beach, out in Huntington as well. So a lot of these players that are recently retiring or still playing are creating these clubs, and it's fantastic. But for sure, there's communication there because, you know, you want to recruit some of the best athletes. As we look at Phil, you know, we've talked so much about him, but look at that, 65 wins with Todd Rogers and 26 from Nick Lucena. He has had just an incredible career, and imagine he can expand that list to his partners this weekend.
Just a Hall of Fame career by that man right there, looking to add Taylor Crabb's name to that list. I'm sure Taylor would like to be on that list as well.
Yeah, and I think there was
a
high
period in
probability
time
of that happened.
Yeah, with the 1 seed of Kame Schock and Theo Brunner being eliminated earlier this morning, they're out of the event. That puts the 2 seed in the driver's seat, giving Taylor Crabb and Phil Dalhausser an opportunity, but they've got to take care of the task at hand right now. After that technical timeout, you saw the medical staff continue to work on Johnny Hyden, and I think I just saw one of Phil's former partners coaching Hyden and Bourne. That looked like Nick Lucena to me. Did you see that, Phil? See that, Dane?
I didn't see that, but the probability could be very high, you know. Nick living in Florida, Nick coaching now at Florida State.
Yeah, Hyden getting the Trickler ace right there out of the technical timeout to tie it up at 11 points apiece now. So the 50-year-old going with that strong jump serve over to Taylor Crabb. And waits on the block and gets his second block point of the set.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was talking about Phil starting to heat up maybe at the net in this second set, but it's been all Bourne just owning it.
And now John Hyden serving with the lead. Another strong serve over to Taylor Crabb. Blocked but covered by Phil. And another swat hang block by Bourne. And the blocking has come alive for Bourne here.
Really has, and his timing's impeccable. He's almost slowing down the timing because he sees that it's going to be a shot. He hovers, waits, and then throws it right back.
13 serving 11 now. Again over to Taylor Crabb. And Taylor goes to the corner. Let's Bourne know about it. Gets the side out, now only down by 1. So after some adversity for Hyden and Bourne, they've regained the lead, but Phil will serve down by 1. Still testing Hyden here on the right. Blocked by Phil, attacked by Phil. A little contact being called against John Hyden there.
Not sure exactly what the call. Here's the block, here's the dig, there's the hit. Oh, they're saying that John Hyden did not block that first ball. It's got to be above the height of the net. Therefore, it's 2 contacts in a row. So that was a bit of a picky call by the ref. He could have maybe let that one slide, but it makes sense though, Matt.
Well, John Hyden, the defender, doesn't get a lot of reps blocking. That time, not getting his hands over the top of the net cord. So double contact called. 13 points each now. Hyden from the right, blocked and covered. Second chance for Bourne. Taylor was there, but didn't get the ball up in the air. So the point will go to Bourne and Hyden. So just a back and forth battle here for both pairs. Even dealing with some adversity in set number 2 was John Hyden taking that medical timeout. But they have the 1-point advantage as Bourne misses that jump serve. And we'll make the side switch.
Yeah, at 14 all, Matt, the pressure as this one goes on kind of mounting on the side of Hyden and Bourne.
As we get a glance at our seeding for the men's side, 2 versus 3 happening now on Stadium Court. Hyden from the right goes down the line, and Crabb gets the dig, but it goes out of bounds.
Oh, all Tri could do is hope that thing was out of bounds. What a spectacular dig by Crabb.
Taylor Crabb has been in the right spot a couple of times, but hasn't been able to really control the ball as that one sailed out of bounds, and Hyden gives a little bit of a cheeky smile over to his coach as he goes for the jump serve now. Going down the line of Phil, it's an overpass, and Bourne gets the spike for the point.
We're getting to see a really good look at the athleticism of Bourne. Look at this, sacrifices, jumps backwards. Most people would have stepped off and passed that ball. Not Bourne. Hovers in the air, smashes it, makes the other team pay.
And John Hyden with that great serve, challenging Phil Dalhausser on the line, and it paid off. So we'll see what he can follow it up with. Now out by 2 points here in set number 2. 16 serving 14. He goes back over to Taylor Crabb. And Taylor drives that one right through the middle of the court for the point.
Taylor making this one look easy on the right side. Perfect footwork, gets his offhand up in the air, crossbody open to the angle.
So here's Phil now down by 1. Gonna go to the jump serve. Has an ace from earlier. This one down the middle, taken well by Hyden. Big block, but try with the cover. And Bourne with the roll shot into the corner for the point.
How about that? I mean, Bourne is absolutely on fire right now. Everything he does is going the right way, but the way Hyden and Tri are doing it is covering. They've covered themselves and negated about 3 or 4 blocks from Phil by getting him up and playing him and actually winning the rally.
So back to the 2-point advantage for Bourne and Hyden. Strong serve over to Phil now. What a set from Taylor Crabb that Phil just absolutely hammers off of Hyden's defense.
Yeah, that's one thing that's sometimes overlooked by Taylor Crabb. He's just a great setter, puts it in the right position every single time. Such a well-rounded player, and that's why he's won MVP on the AVP tour, and that's why he's won National Player of the Year at the collegiate level. The guy can do it all.
Now he's playing a little catch-up here in set number 2. As the serve goes over to Hyden. And Hyden misses the sideline right there. The wide open line shot goes just wide, and we're tied at 17s.
Yeah, usually an easy shot for John Hyden, wide open, but a difficult shot to execute. You know, you're coming to the middle of the court, you're using your right hand to go back outside to the sideline, and you just misjudged it by a couple feet.
Another serve over to Hyden from the right side, all the way out by the antenna. Crabb gets the dig. Phil on 2, but goes into the net.
Yeah, I think he actually tipped that ball on the block, so he had to go over. Otherwise, I think 9 out of 10 times Phil sets his partner on that one. But that's a hard ball to hit, coming down with that type of spin.
So after the 18-17 side switch, John Hyden will serve, trying to take set number 2 and push us into that 3rd set tiebreaker. with the jump serve over at Crabb. A one-handed pass. Phil has to run it down. Joust at the net, kept alive. Try with nobody blocking and gets the point.
Yeah, I don't know if Bourne can play any better than right now. Everything he does has been successful. Look at that press on the joust and then covers it. And then with nobody up at the net, makes them pay. So just 2 points away from pushing that third set.
Yeah, 19-17 here in set number 2. Taylor and Phil decided to call a timeout. And yes, that has been confirmed. It is Nick Lucena in the coaching role for Bourne and John Hyden. Doesn't seem to be bothering Phil. Of course, Nick Lucena retiring from professional beach volleyball. Now coaching at Florida State with his wife and former AVP player Brooke Lucena, formerly Brooke Niles from Santa Barbara, California. See the medical staff continuing to pay attention to that upper left shoulder of John Hyden after that medical timeout he took earlier in set number 2. Seems to be playing fine though.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that affected him. Whatever treatment he's been getting, it looked like they have a little hypervolt or something working on his back with the ice, and it really basically doesn't look like it has bothered him since that initial injury.
So back to it now, that 2-point advantage here in the business end of set number 2. Johnny Hyden will get us back into it. Crabb from the right. Blocked but covered. Second chance for Phil now. And Phil rolls it down the line. Well placed by him.
Yeah, it seems like Bourne is getting his hands on just about every shot right now from Phil and Taylor. And it's made him think twice, that's for sure.
So 18 serving 19 now. Phil's going to go back to the jump serve from the shadows. Working on Bourne from the left. Bump set a little bit tight. Bourne goes hard off of Phil's block and out of bounds.
Smart play right there by Bourne. Looked like there was no options available, but he somehow found one by tooling Phil.
And it's set point now for Hyden and Bourne. 2-point advantage. Looking to force the third set tiebreaker. Good strong jump serve over to Phil through the middle. Bourne into the net after Hyden had dug the ball. And we'll play on now, 19 serving 20.
Seems like more often than not, when that ball is dug in the backcourt, that's the time that those nets happen. It's usually not when it's hit freely.
Crabb now with the deep float serve over to Hyden from the right. Phil with a great deflection. Now a chance for Phil. Over the block and into the angle for the point.
Wow, just like that, when they need a point, Phil pulls off a beautiful soft block. And then he's able to crush it and put it away and tie this thing up. Looked like we were going 3 a second ago, and Phil and Crabb maybe have some other plans.
Now it's anybody's game now. Hyden attacking, Phil blocking. And that's a block point for Phil. 21-20 now for Taylor Crabb and Phil Dalhausser.
Well, Matt, you know, it's interesting. I said Phil needed about 3 of these, and he's gotten 3 of them, but almost every one of them has been covered by these guys. And John Hyden have done a phenomenal job of covering those blocks.
Now, Hyden nearly covered that one off of his forehead kept the ball alive, but now match point. Before we get to see it, Hyden and Bourne call their timeout, slowing it down for a few more minutes here.
Phil and Taylor down 18-20, up 21-20, point away from the match.
Just a few moments ago, it was 20-18 in favor of Hyden Bourne. Now it's match point for Crabb and Dalhausser. Just goes to show, Dane, no lead is safe on the men's side. And anything can happen here on the AVP Tour.
Yeah, especially when you have these teams that are so evenly matched. I mean, you're looking at the number 2 and the number 3 seed in this final AVP event of 2022. Some different partnerships that we haven't seen, but if you strip it all away, you got 4 spectacular athletes just battling, and no one wants to give up any points, and it's a lot of fun to see. The winner of this will feel good, be relaxed. The other one will have to kind of battle their way back. There you see that stat, 203rd combined AVP tournament between Taylor and Dalhausser, 71 wins combined.
Well, you said it, the winner of this match will go on to tomorrow's semifinals. Losers will get relegated down to the Contenders bracket. And we'll play another match and have an opportunity to make it to the semifinals, but it's now match point for Crabb and Dalhausser. Taylor Crabb will serve. Hyden from the right. Phil Dalhausser getting the block to win the match like he's done so many times before. And the 2 seed advances to the semifinals with a 2-set victory, 2 deuce games over John Hyden and Bourne.
Wow, that was something special. What did I say, Matt? 2 or 3 of those blocks as Phil reads you, he learns you, he figures out what you're doing, and then he makes you pay at the end. Some miraculous volleyball on both sides of the net. It looked like Try could do no wrong, but Phil, in the end, took over and sealed the deal.
As he's done so many times throughout his career, coming through in crunch time with some key blocks, service aces, and just overall high-level volleyball by Phil Dalhausser and Taylor Crabb to get the win. Hyden and Bourne, they stay alive. They move down to the Contenders bracket. They'll play another match before moving on to the semifinals. If they were to get a win, we'll see how Hyden responds to that left shoulder injury, Dane. Be interesting to see how he plays in the next match.
Yeah, absolutely. And both teams, I believe, are done for the day. It'll be an earlier match for Try and Hyden, a little later semifinal match for Phil and Crabb. But that will be crucial for John Hyden, how much treatment he gets and if he's ready to go. But that's how Phil loved to end it, by just shutting it down, straight down. Phil motivated, trying to get Taylor Crabb a championship with the Thin Beast, and pretty even all the way around. And that was fun to watch, you know, Try on fire and then Phil taking over. You know, those are the matches that you dream of. A big treat, a Christmas present early for some volleyball fans.
Well, a terrific match indeed, Dane. 2 deuce games. The winners, Taylor Crabb, Phil Dalhausser, congratulations. Moving on to the semifinals. For my broadcast partner, Dane Blanton, I'm Matt Prosser. Thanks for joining us here from Central Florida. We'll see you next time.